Well, as discussed in the Orientalist exploitation, we tends to look at in the discipline of anthropology from the point of the predator-prey metaphors. If you look at, usually ethnographers are in a way engaged in trying to gather some kind of information, or sort of trying to look at as if they are on a hunting expedition in trying to find the prey, that is the animals. So, this sort of the discourse which is being followed by the Oriental ethnographers in trying to make sense or understand the native societies mostly tends to be looked at the lens of this the predator and prey sort of relationship, or maybe we can say metaphors. Now, as Malinowski has rightly argued that for instance the ethnographers tends to normally spread the kind of nets in the right place and wait for what will fall into them. And in that case, he plays the role of an active huntsman, and through this he tends to drive his quarry into the follow it up and most inaccessible layers. Now, moving on, the Orientalist ethnographers sort of tends to forcefully move into looking at this perspective by employing this idea of a universalist discourse. So, in a way, this sort of imagination of being that feeling of that superiority in relation to the society, the societies which they are studying. Now, therefore, this sort of a preconceived notion of how that they tends to sort of have this dominance, or sort of the ethnocentric presumption or ideas against other communities is pretty much involved in the imagination of these Orientalist ethnographers. Now, by seeing this, or as we discussed, we tend to locate that anthropologists tends to be looked at or perceived as if it's the offspring of some kind of the Western colonialism or the Western colonialist, or maybe someone has rightly pointed out saying that anthropology is the bastard child of colonialism. Now, this predominance, this idea of sort of dominance is guided by the idea of objectivist, if not objectivist idea of this Western science, which tends to for quite long this has been the obsession of the ethnographers. If you look at the history of this the discipline, particularly anthropology. Now, this relationship, the engagement of the field worker, that is the ethnographers, and can be in a way said to be a relationship between the translator and the author, not just, as I pointed out, not just in terms of the predator-prey relationship, but also they tends to engage in certain kind of a violent sexual language, which I have pointed out the Baconian theory of sexual axiom. So, this sort of othering, if not trying to objectify the community with or the subject which they are looking at, tends to have certain kind of this the branding of that community, something from the point of a violent sexual language or metaphors. The content of this source text is mostly represented as passive, and sort of a weaker sex, that is the female prey, to be in a way controlled and appropriated by a male translator. So, it can be in a way looked at the female and the male relationship, wherein the male has overriding power or authority in terms of controlling and translating in the way they like, and they don't really give a space, and the prey in a way becomes just a representation of the passive, whereas the male, that is the ethnographers, who plays an active role of a huntsman, tends to engage in interpreting in a different mode. Now, as you can see globally also in the available or the existing literature, the kind of industrial exploitation which is taking place normally tends to consider the natural resources as something which is wild and then which needs to be tamed, or rather which needs to be sort of civilized. And this imagination in a way is guided by the idea of as if the wild is something which is undomesticated, and this perhaps in a way sort of proof that, or it is evident that this is sort of the characteristic which is normally embedded in the environmental orientalism. Now, for example, if you look at the literature on the fishing economists, for example, often there's this notion of aggressive stance which are normally being taken by the fishermen, which is rightly pointed out by Peasants in his extensive study among the Icelandic communities. That is, the Icelandic fishing economy is perhaps a case in point. Now, during this engagement of a fishing economy, you tends to look at the sea in a way represented a kind of gigantic and a continuous mass of energy which requires to be sort of tamed and then or looked upon actively as and which is seen to be in a more offensive manner by the humans. That is where one needs to exert certain kind of energy and force, to put it more specifically, and by those males who are almost at war with the ecosystem, as if the fisherman in a way engaged in a continuous struggle to in a way prove their masculinity over the sea, that is in terms of capturing and then trying to exploit. So, this sort of offensive nature in a way is pretty much evident in the context of the fishing practices which are normally being practiced in the in Iceland. Now, in a way, if you look at this the kind of intensity which is usually being witnessed in the context of this environmental orientalism, and sort of its the kind of consequences they have delivered, one can in a way tries to look at the inherent challenges, if not the problems which is normally being encountered. Now, in this context, the producers in a way expect a certain kind of a control in totality by their own practices, and in the process they tends to sort of undermine their mastery, sometimes bringing the species they exploit to near depletion. So this condition or this idea of the depletion of this species or the ecosystem is never border or never in the discourse of the fishing economy. Now, therefore, this sort of idea of controlling and the kind of practices which they have engaged into tends to impact it a lot in the ecosystem, and these resources are seen to be sort of with that idea of as if it cannot be depleted. Now, if we can if we employ the metaphor of this irony, even in a more ironical manner, this faced with the realities of this, the resource depletion, people sometimes in a way adopt the fatalistic attitude that depletion is simply an inevitable ingredient of economic progress. So in a way, the kind of economic progress or development in a way is seen to be, two sides of the same coin with the depletion of resources. So they are in a way guided by these premises of depletion vis-a-vis development or economic progress. So this tends to be pretty much ironical in the true sense of the term. Now, how does one engage in this fatalistic attitude? Now, for instance, the normal traditional practices of fishing in a way is less harmful compared to the more commercialized form of fishing, that is by using heavy machines like trawlers, wherein you tend to not just fish out, but also in the process you affect the other species which are pretty much inherent in that particular ecosystem, that is the sea. Now, moving on, as we have discussed, what sort of ideas or normally the principles which guides the paradigms of Orientalism is, and how this with the subject of this anthropology in a way is for quite long being guided by these Orientalist ideas, that is how it is seen as the offspring of colonialism, and how it is being guided by the objectivist Western science notion of perception, at the same time imagining the other, that is the community, which are pretty much closely inhabiting the nature. Now, this sort of ideas for quite long has sort of guided the ethics of anthropology, and now we would be looking at the different paradigm, that is paternalism. Now, as I had already briefly pointed out what paternalism is, it in a way involves sort of giving a preference to the scientific knowledge, that is we tend to give more space to this the scientific expertise, and inversion to the relative power of experts and the laypersons. We tend to categorize or sort of draw a boundary between the formal and the informal knowledge, and the formal knowledge, as I had pointed out, is normally the written one, and the informal knowledge, that is of the laypersons, is mostly oral, and then it is unwritten. Now, if you look at in the modern environmentalist view, humans in a way have this particular responsibility to meet what? Not only to other humans, but also to other members of other species, that is to fellow inhabitants of the animal kingdom and the ecosystem of the globe. So that sort of interaction is in a way inevitable, and how the humans in a way plays the role of being responsible. Now, this idea of this paternalism again is guided by that sort of restricting the freedom and having the sole responsibility of caring and nurturing not just the other human beings, but also the other species. So that sort of authoritarian dogmas in a way has guided this environmentalist view. Now they tend to sort of as they have shown some kind of a dominance and if not a control over other humans, similarly they tend to employ that sort of principles when they interact, if not they share that kind of relationship with other species, that is the animal kingdom. Now this modern environmentalist movement in a way engage by fetishizing nature. Now in the process they tend to sort of demarcate the world of humans and nature, and they tend to presume that humans are in a way acting on behalf of nature, and therefore that sort of the dichotomy or dichotomous relationship is being established between human and nature. Now if you look at some of the principles which guide the radical ecologists, for example the animal rights group. Now they tend to sort of become something which are more akin to the activities of the left revolutionaries, that is who engage in delivering justice, if not who are pretty much radical in their stance, and they tend to perceive or deliver or a change in a very haste or maybe overnight. And this sort of revolutionary ideas, which was pretty much active in the 19th century, tends to presume this nature not the oppressed proletariat, but it is the beneficiary. Now this is what Bennett has argued, and the animal rights activists in a way are being trapped with the notion of this objectivist Western discourse on science and the other, and which often tends to make a fundamental or a primary distinctions between them, that is the indigenous producers and that is the us, that is the Euro-American. That sort of demarcation of them and us is always pretty much inherent. And if you look at the sort of the in the present day, like the Peasants, who in a way tends to by sidelining human rights, they tends to take up the issue of the animals, for instance, and in the process they tends to compromise with the rights of humans in order to safeguard and protect the animals. So there's this sort of practices are in a way radical in nature, and we can use the term radical ecologists to brand this group of activists in a way. Now in the academic discourse, it is important to engage in this textual translation, right? And what is this textual translation then? Now Jacques Derrida tends to use this term called the translation contract, wherein he defined that this translation contract is nothing but sort of a hymen or marriage contract with a promise to produce a child whose seed will give rise to history and growth. So, this sort of an alliance which is seen to be sort of made between a man and a woman, wherein they will ultimately engage in producing a child which will in a way continue the kind of evolution of humankind. Now, Derrida tends to see this textual translation, that is the translator and the author, in terms of this alliance called the translation contract, wherein two mutually agreed to have a contract and engage in trying to deliver some kind of what is being appropriate to them. Now, only some segments of this humanity in a way are categorized to belong to closely to nature. That is, as if only a particular region or a community is separated, and they are tends to be sort of have that belongingness to nature. And those reported to love animals and take care of their environment are popularly termed to be, who are primitive, which are far from civilization, and who tends to have this a culture of civilization, or who are in a way far away from the state control or the state or the modern state. Now, these sort of ideas in a way, if you see in the context of India, we have some anthropologists like Vera Elvind, Christopher Hamendorf. Hamendorf in a way has or Elvin Verrier, who have closely examined the life of the Baiga, and ultimately these ethnographers come up with an idea that these primitive or tribals should be in a way seen to be in isolation, or their culture or their way of life should remain untouched. So, in the discourse of tribal society, that sort of approach has emerged, which is known as the isolationist approach, has emerged as a result of the works of particularly Vera Elvind and Christopher Hamendorf. Now, why do they tend to come up with this idea? Because there is an inherent idea which is pretty much embedded, because they tend to evaluate and gauge the societies which they study, because they tend to have that paternalistic kind of attitude, that notion of predominance over the culture which they study, and that culture which they have interacted and studied are seen to be inferior and primitive, and which are far from civilization. Therefore, they need to be sort of preserved in a museum. Now, this sort of anthropological discourse was pretty much active in the pre-colonial, pre-independence period, and then all throughout even for quite some time in the post-independence period. But this sort of isolationist approach are again challenged by Gourier and others by coming with a different idea that is more of an integrationist and assimilationist approach of looking at the tribals. Now, as a result of this, we could actually see many of the Adivasis which are being Hinduized, and once they become Hinduized, they fall within the Hindu caste system, and sort of a reinvention of identity is taking place. But that is not the end, but in reverse to this, there is also sort of a reinvention among the tribals themselves taking place. Therefore, in the process, as a result of the kind of affirmative action which is enshrined in the constitutions, which sort of tends to safeguard the interests of the tribal's culture and identity, which in a way many tribal communities are today asserting a separate, if not to protect their identity because of this affirmative action. Now, this sort of ideas in a way of branding a particular community as who are close to nature and who are taking care of their biodiversity tends to be perceived as primitive and sort of the children of nature, that is natural worker, that in German. Now, these children of nature, how do we categorize this then? This sort of taxonomy, if not classification of we and us, or they and us, in a way is assumed that the translator in a way is engaged with as if they have at certain point of time or states have left the state of nature. So, in a way this is guided by the evolutionary ideas that human has evolved, and then there are certain communities who are at the states of civilization or modern society, and there are still other groups who are close to nature as primitive and still far from civilization. So, these sort of ideas or categorizing of or dividing or classifying people can be in a way seen to be pretty much guided by the idea of deterministic and the ecological models, which are in a way again presumed to be applied to only some societies which are notably still practicing the foraging practices, that is hunting and gathering societies. Now, if you looked at or examine closely rather the peasants, who are often seen to be primitive, or who are seen to be children of nature, are in a way is guided or been practicing the environmental relations in terms of this protection and reciprocity. Now, by using this term protection and reciprocity, it is an ongoing engagement with nature, because they tend to presume nature as a provider of their day-to-day basic needs, and in the process these human societies tends to engage in certain sort of protection, or maybe vice versa. Now, significantly, this sort of relations between human and their land or the ecological needs which they have inhabited are often models in terms of certain kinds of social bonding, and so to say among distant relatives, which are in a way again characterized by the ethos of respect and formality, which in a way is pretty much balanced, and which cannot again be simply generalized or seen to be from the gates of reciprocity. Now, these sort of ethics and values are pretty much inherent with the people who are in close relationship with their soiled, if not the ecological needs they are inhabiting. Now, for example, again, if you looked at the case of the Icelandic fishing, this patterns of paternalism is in a way represent the current application of scientific rationality to fisheries management. Now, by engaging in using the up to date, if not technology, you are in a way trying to give a space to this the scientific rationality, because you tend to see that with the help of science you can in a way maximize the product, or maybe you are sort of engaging in some kind of a balance to the ecosystem. Now, this sort of scientific rationality is also to be seen in the context of the modern forestry management. Now, as I have cited this example of the forest policies which are guiding the Indian environment, in a way is also something which is being borrowed from the European colonialist, wherein forest is seen as more of in a very scientific manner. Now, therefore, as a result of which they tend to engage in planting more cash related, if not forestry, which should in a way deliver or maybe commercialization of forest. Now, in this process, people tends to engage in like monocropping, which in a way has a good return in the market. Now, this sort of ideas which has driven the forestry practices in India has far-reaching impact on the communities who are pretty much living in close proximity, or who share sort of a close relationship with their land, or who has a sort of affinity with the ecological needs which they have inhabited for generations, has sort of a far-reaching impact on them. Now, in this process, they in a way has affected in the pursuit of this commercialization of forest, their means of basic livelihoods are being affected, and many have in a way has lost their means of livelihood, and as a result of this, a lot of this involuntary displacement or migration takes place. Now, this is something which needs to be looked at when we tend to apply this scientific rationality in terms of any kind of natural resource management. And the Icelandic fishing is also a case in point, which is strongly argued by Peasants in his study, that by engaging in this scientific rationality, that perception of looking at sea is to be seen as something which needs to be sort of tame, and then wherein you have to like forcibly engage to extract something out of it. Now, that sort of relationship has set up as a result of this engagement. Now, while this fisherman in a way has continuously engaged in appropriating their prey, in a sense they in a way involve in removing it from the natural domain. That is, that whole idea of sustainability is being affected, because the whole ecosystem or the species is affected by separating them from that of humans. That is, the scientific management tends to engage in extracting this sort of practices wherein the fish is normally seen to be which has to sort of satisfy the needs of humans. Now, as a result of this, the fishermen have increasingly become driven by this technoscientific knowledge, and as a result of this, they have sort of dominated the nature, and this idea of scientific rationality has guided the fisherman. Now, one of the chief architects of this paternalistic regime of protective fishing and the present system of individual transferable quotas, that is the agents like the economists, the biologists and other policy makers often tends to remain firmly committed to more of a modernist discourse, and in the process they tends to take the stance of these objectivist ideas. Now, these are some of the kind of paternalistic ideas or the modern environmentalist architect, which in a way has sort of hampered, if not are pretty much hell-bent, and they take this stance to sort of satisfy their needs. Now, if you try to see paternalism in a more moral framework, there is an increasing awareness among people about the ecological impact which they have sort of caused, and as a result of engaging with this paternalistic mechanisms, their action has in a way tends to seek and to organize themselves in redressing the balance. That is the metaphor of this, the comic plot may seem an appropriate one. Now, moving on from these paradigms of paternalism, wherein those who practices these paternalistic ideas are pretty much engaged with the scientific knowledge and guided by the objectivist Western science and rationalities. We move on to looking at what communalism is and what is the paradigm of these communalisms trying to challenge, if not rejects, mostly the ideas of orientalism and paternalism. And first and foremost, this paradigm in a way rejects the separation of nature and society, and also the notions of this certainty and monologue, and it has consistently emphasizes the contingency and dialogue, because there, if one has to look at the relationship between nature and society, there has to be some kind of a discourse and how the kind of relationship has to be historicized by engaging in a different approach of ethnographic understanding. Now, unlike paternalism, communalism in a way tends to propound the idea of generalizing this reciprocity, that is an exchange which often metaphorically represents in terms of intimate personal relationship. Now, when we talk about the intimate personal relationship, you tend to look at more of a subjective interpretive understanding of the contextually and not just on a superficial objectivist understanding of this relationship. Therefore, one cannot really generalize this idea of reciprocity, and in the process it is important, it is pertinent to develop a different kind of ecological theory that sort of tends to encompass human ecology and social theory. Now, why is this social theory important? Because as we had discussed, the way we treat other human beings tends to reflect on the kind of relationship which we share on nature. Therefore, the reinvention or readdressing the problems of society is important, and once you come up with different kind of a social theory, and in the process you can be able to come up with a different notion of an ecological theory. Now, how does one derive at framing a different social theory? By only sort of abandoning a radical stance, that is the distinctions between nature and society, which is pretty much recognized in the present time. Now, this social theory in a way was proposed earlier in the writing of the young Marx, who in a way insisted that humans cannot be afford to be or to be seen in separation from nature, and conversely that nature could not be separated from humans. Nature, he therefore argues that taken abstractly for itself, nature is fixed in isolation from man, is nothing from man, is nothing for man. Now, this sort of scientific praxis, if not the theory of this praxis or practice, which are informed both in the writings of Marx, that this perspective of this pragmatism includes that of Dewey, and which in a way strongly asserts and then emphasizes on these ideas. Now, this theory of practice began with the writings of Marx and then later on popularized by Dewey. Now, what does this theory of practice talks about? Now, this theory in a way provide a new perspective that in a way resonates the paradigm of communalism, while dismissing the dualism of experts and laypersons, that is the sort of demarcation between the formal and the informal knowledge has to be in a way dismissed, because it sort of offers a new hope or a challenges by engaging in a compelling view on how people acquire the skills necessary for managing their lives, as Dewey puts it, from knowing as a factor in action and undergoing. Now, therefore, it is important to look at the kind of skills which are pretty much acquired in close relationship with nature. I have at length discussed about Ingold's understanding of the enskillment and how they tend to develop sort of a knowledge in close relationship with the environment where a community has sort of inhabited for quite some time. Now, this theory of practice also again draws our attention to ask how to look at the master-apprentice relationship. One in a way should not necessarily engage in always the predator-prey relationship, but also to look at the master-apprentice relations and the kind of communities which engage in this practice, to which they are closely associated with, that is, in decentering the study of human action. Now, these are some ideas which are again borrowed from Goodman and Pearson's work. Now, why is it important to look at this wider perspective of the community's practice in which they belong? Because through this continuous engagement with the environment, a certain kind of knowledge is being developed, and skills are being developed in sort of the continuous process of this protection, and reciprocity is being witnessed in this discourse. Now, this sort of perspective, that is this theory of practice, not only provides a useful antidote to methodological individualism, but also a proper unit of analysis is no longer something which is autonomous to the individual, that is the separation from the social world, but rather the whole person in action, that is the individual in action, which is acting within the context of that activity. So, that sort of anthropocentric ideas is being dismissed, and rather human or a person is seen to be a dot, if not a unit, in this whole networks or context. So, this idea of this biocentrism in a way is a proper approach in these units of analysis. Now, if you look at the relationship between the anthropologists and their ethnographic fieldwork, vis-a-vis how do we try to inject this idea of communalism, and then what communalism stands for. Now, usually in the fieldwork, an anthropologist normally engage in encountering their host, that is the subject of their study or the cultural group which one is looking at, and therefore continually these anthropologists are engaging in a kind of a meaningful dialogue with their hosts. That is, in this process they share some kind of reciprocal enterprises, that is the inhabitants of a single world. Now, why is it important to look at this textual translation, rather not just as a predator-prey perspective, but rather as more of a reciprocal enterprises. Now, this engagement is meaningful because it is the guest and the host, and through this interaction one is trying to derive some ideas and meanings through this. So, there are also possibilities of being pretty much biased in terms of interpretation. Now, therefore, many of the works, many of the anthropologists tends to come up with certain kind of conclusion. For instance, the kind of food habits, for example, if you take the examples of the context of Northeast India, wherein most tribals are known for engaging in the culture of this head hunting. Normally in head hunting, a community engaged in raiding the other fellow tribes, and then they bring back the heads of those enemies, and which is seen to be sort of a prized possession, and the enemy's head are sort of seen as trophies. Now, this sort of interpreting from the European anthropological discourse is again misleading, because it is not just about that tribals are normally engaging in simply craving for the body of a human, but rather if you see from the gaze of the within, that is the native societies, in a way this sort of practices is more to do with checks and balances, or to bring certain kind of or a test of masculinity. So, that sort of engagement where the host community usually represent has to be in a way interpret in that particular context, and not seen as, and not to be seen as something which is sort of as a tradition of warring practices, or sort of a savage cultural practices. Now, the basic importance of this discourse ethics is pointed out by Habermas, and Habermas in a way refers this discourse ethics of the ideal speech situation, which is more of a general communicative strategy for recognizing the differences and solving conflicts. Now, this ideal speech situation is important in the sort of the ethnographic fieldwork wherein anthropologists are engaged, because this is where the kind of an exchange of ideas, if not wherein the field worker tends to sort of decode or interpret the ideas or practices of action which is embedded in that particular communities. Now, fieldwork, according to Goodman and Rivera, in a way again emphasizes that it is a continuous conversation, that is a discourse, and through this an anthropologist in a way tends to produce their ethnography with a responding people, because normally when you go to the field, and normally the anthropologists and socialists engage in certain kind of discussion, interview, by being a participant and a non-participant observer. Now, therefore, this sort of continuous engagement of the anthropologists is important in order to produce their data, which is known as the ethnography. Once again, there are also an obvious parallels in terms of a literary discourse. So, this sort of textual translation is important in terms of especially in the ethnographic study. Now, Burt and David in a way also shows that the group of these hunters and gatherers metaphorically extend this idea of communalism. How? Because in their relations among humans to the realm of environmental domain, thereby projecting an image of the giving environment. Now, again, why is this the social life in a way reflecting on the environmental relations? Is because usually these native communities are more or less guided by the ethos of this communitarianism and egalitarianism. Now, this sort of egalitarianism in a way where there is no class divisions among individuals, that sort of tends to reflect in their environmental relations, because they tend to see the animals or the other species as something which is equal, and there is no sort of a rigid or a radical separation between the two. Now, for instance, just a child may expect the care of its parents, the environment in a way sort of provides its unconditional support. So, that sort of perception of branding nature as, or maybe the art as mother, the environment is seen as from the figure of a mother who will in a way provide sort of an unconditional support irrespective of what happened in the past. Now, again, in these hunting and gathering societies, the human environmental relations may be described in terms of a generalized reciprocity. Now, this sort of mother-child relationship is something wherein the two don't see any scope of using violence, or not just from the perspective of exploiting, but rather as more of a protection and reciprocity. So, these sort of metaphors in a way can make sense when we looked at the human environmental relations. Now, for instance, again, as I had already discussed at length about the Canadian Cree communities, sometimes in a way speaks of themselves as being in communion with nature and animals. Now, perhaps some of the rituals and ceremonies which they have practices are in a way a testimony to this kind of their communion with nature and animals. Now, in a sense, these are pretty much embedded in the hunting activities, which are again to be seen as sort of a romantic affair or a love affair, which is frequently happening between where sort of the hunters engage in sort of seducing the prey. Hunters also in this process enter into a relationship with game animals in order to have any success and vice versa. So, in a way the prey tends to sacrifice so as to satisfy the needs of the hunters. So, that sort of a romantic affairs in a way is pretty much seen in the hunting activities. It is not something otherwise among the Icelandic fishing economy, where that sort of a predator and prey relation exists, but rather the hunters in a way lures or tends to seduce the prey, and in return the prey tends to sacrifice and fulfill that sort of promises in order to have successful hunting. Now, also to kill an animal is also to have an engagement or engaging in a dialogue with and inhabiting the same wild. That is sort of the being part of the ecosystem. Animals are also seen to be part of that social world. That is, if one tends to see from the social theoretical perspective, and also human as part of nature. Now, this sort of close affinity or this symbiotic relationship is something which is predominant in the case of these human and animals, which in a way is to be interpreted in this context. Now, again, in the hunter's view, there is no fundamental distinctions between nature and society. Now, in a way, if I may use the term altruistic, which is pretty much used by Max Weber, a German sociologist, wherein he says that in altruistic suicide, you tends to sort of sacrifice for the betterment or for the good cause. An individual sacrifices one's life for the sake of the society. Or maybe we can also take the examples of the martyrs, a soldier who in a way tends to commit this kind of suicide by running inside the bunkers of the enemy, can be sort of this sort of sacrifice can be seen as altruistic in nature or altruism. Now, therefore, what I see in this the hunters and the animals discourse is sort of an altruistic love or altruism in a way prevails, because the animals in a way tends to sacrifices in the best interest of the other entity, that is the human, because they tends to sort of dwelled or inhabited the same ecological needs, and that sort of demarcation or distinction is not seen. Now, if one discuss also in terms of the relation to land, in the study of Gurevik, he pointed out that in the ancient Scandinavian society, wherein there is no sort of a separation between the cultivator and the land, or maybe the individual and the land which they have cultivated, they tend to see sort of an extension of their own nature. Wherein I quote, the fact that a man was thus personally linked with his possessions found reflection in a general awareness of the indivisibility of man and the world of nature. Now, therefore, this sort of relationship which is normally witnessed between a land and a cultivator, or a man and the land which they have cultivated, this sort of ideas, the embeddedness with their land, they tend to interpret this relationship, the land, as not something which is object, but rather as sort of they are as if part of the nature, or they belongs to the land. So this sort of affinity or relationship is best established in the context of the ancient Scandinavian society. Now, similarly, among different native or agricultural society, this sort of relationship is also being seen. Now, agriculture practices is not to be interpreted as not just simply an economic practice, but the kind of involvement people engages into these practices ultimately appears to be a way of life for them. Now, for them, this possession of land is not just to fulfill their economic needs, but also it tends to save their identity and then their social belongingness to that particular land. Therefore, a different kind of meaning is pretty much manifested in these relations. Now, social honor again is embodied in land, and because the possession of land, or the land which they owned, in a way also in some sense become a social status or a symbol for that community, because with the amount of land which they owned, so is their social standing or status which is being determined. Now, from the perspective of this economic, a pertinent modern example which is normally seen in the economy of livelihood, which is described again by Goodman and Rivera in their study of the Scandinavian society, again tends to compare with rural Cambodia. Here too, the force of the human body is embodied in the land. Now, that sort of separation between the human and land is not there, as what I have discussed earlier in the context of where land is seen as the body of a female, where it has to be sort of penetrate, and then wherein the basic interest of the male has to be derived. So, this is again antithetical to that ideas, because the human body is seen to be pretty much embodied in the land which not they own, but also the kind of practices which they have done in it. So, in a sense, this sort of a sustainable engagement, or the kind of relations which they share with the land, is something which we need to look here. Now, if the land again is an extension of the human body, which in a way is not replenished as simply the base, will in the long run erode the people, and therefore they tend to in a way sort of engage in an involuntary a forceful kind of a migration. Now, if you look at many of the modern ways of agriculture practices, the continuous or the use of certain kinds of fertilizers, chemicals, so on and so forth, in a way has desertified the soil, and the kind of relations, the harmonious relationship between people and land in a way has changed. So, in one sense, the kind of responsible action which one engages with land will ultimately in a way bring some kind of sustainability. Therefore, one engaged in caring or managing the base is a major concern, that is the land. Now, exploring, if we looked at the idea of communalism in these whole ideas of what we have explained, one can actually situate or locate the spirit of communalism. Now, for instance, to what extent this practical knowledge of the fisherman could be, brought more systematically in this discussion, that is the process of this resource management, and how does this knowledge differs from the textual knowledge of the professional biologist, which again is guided by this technological scientific knowledge. Now, Peasants in this regard argued that skippers' extensive knowledge of the ecosystem within which they operate, that is the collective product of this partnership or apprenticeship, is the results of years of trial and error, that is the practical unskillment, and that it would be in a way judicious to use this kind of this management purposes in order to engage or look at the closer attention to this knowledge. Therefore, through this we can in a way allow the extreme fluctuation of the ecosystem. Therefore, one alternative way of avoiding this depletion of the fishes in a way is to in a way engage in looking at this knowledge which people have learned in the environment which they have belonged, but not just simply relying on the knowledge which the biologists or the scientists usually addressed. Now, could this sort of practices ultimately would relax the modernist assumption or sort of debunk the idea of this modernist assumption of predictability, which is normally associated with the ecological project of sustainability. So, in a way, if we would like to talks about the sustainability of the sea ecosystem, one has to allow a space to the idea of this practical unskillment of those who are closely associated or inhabiting these areas again. Now, by saying so, I am not denying that other forms of knowledge should be totally shunned off or disallowed, but to an extensive, to some extent, this body of local knowledge has often been pushed aside, if not eliminated. And in the course of this Western expansion and domination, there are good grounds for attempting to sort of recapture and preserve what remains of such knowledge, that is the references of the indigenous and traditional in such contexts can in a way allow us to reintroduce or reinforce the boundaries of this colonial world. Therefore, this radical separation between nature and society can be narrowed down by allowing the space of this indigenous or traditional knowledge. Now, therefore, these notions of native and primitive again have in a way tends to a tendency to congregate in terms of a particular times and location, and where does a particular skill or body of knowledge again have to be located to be classified as indigenous. Now, this is something which is pretty much challenging, and how do we contextualize or bring in a space for this skilled or body of knowledge which in a way has to be located and classified as indigenous. Now, in conclusion, as we have discussed the three kinds of paradigms, that is orientalism, paternalism and communalism in respect to the human environmental relations, often in the modernist assumption of orientalism, we have also looked at some of the sort of the preconceived notion of human mastery over nature and the nature society interface, and also the distinctions between laypersons and the experts. Now, also we tend to rightly pointed out that there should be a space to give to the laypersons or the indigenous and local knowledge, so as these boundaries or the borders which are normally set by the colonialists can be altered if not narrowed down. Now, again this we also have this paternalistic ideas which in a way tends to engage in the intellectual hires of Renaissance, Enlightenment and early positivistic science. For example, I had also highlighted about the Descartes anxiety and the Baconian theory of the sexual axiom, all of which in a way has instituted the series of decisive dualism between nature and societies. Now, moreover, Orientalism also in a way suggests the absence of reciprocity in human environmental relations has to be in a way later typically presupposes human responsibility and balanced reciprocity. Finally, the paradigm of communalism, as we had just discussed, differs from both Orientalism and Paternalism in that it sort of rejects the notion of certainty and monologue and the radical separation of nature and society. Now, when it becomes you are so certain and you engage in this monologue, you don't have a space for a dialogue, and then everything is prefixed and there is no scope for alteration or improvement. So, this idea of certainty and monologue also needs to be relooked and reassert or reinvent, or maybe I would use the term debunk. Now, unlike paternalism, it emphasizes communalism emphasizes generalized reciprocity of human environmental relations, an exchange which frequently model on close personal relationship. Nature as not something different, but also a part of the social world. Now, again, this paradigm of communalism again emphasizes on the idea of practical enskillment, reciprocity, engagement, which in a way eventually provides an avenue out of this modernist project and current environmental dilemmas, which in a way can find an alternative ways and approach. Now, these ideas in a way can adopt the dialogic perspective of communalism to return to not just the post-Renaissance, but also the pre-Renaissance pre-Renaissance era of this medieval world, and also indulges in a naive romanticism also, but rather to embrace a more realistic position by debunking or coming out of this idea of ethnocentric preconception of the modern project, that is not just allowing or drawing a boundary of that the anthropological understanding which is guided by colonialism or Western science. Our lives and activities in a way is inevitably situated in a larger or wider ecological and historical context. Now, to have much more ideas or a further understanding of these paradigms of environmental human relations, apart from these three paradigms, you can also explore more, and this discussion is primarily based on these the works of Gisli Peasants, and you can refer these for further understanding. This is the references which I have used. Thank you.